Good afternoon, and welcome everyone to our concert to welcome spring. The vernal equinox was on the 20th of March this year, 11 days ago. And spring has been with us for those 11 days. But it's not too late for a welcome to that wonderful season. We have 9 songs, all about spring and or Easter, and all of them welcoming both Easter and spring. And we're going to start off with a beautiful English song, an English composition. One of the certain signs for the people of France that spring has arrived is when the roses bloom in Picardy. They bloom in the spring and die in the summer. That is what Frederick Weatherly claims he was told when he was traveling in Picardy in the years shortly before the beginning of the First World War. He would remember that and would use those details in the lyrics he would later write for the music composed by Haydn Wood for what would become a very famous English song, The Roses of Picardy. The song was published in 1916. The lyrics by Frederick Weatherly, whom some of you may remember from my last concert, was that English lawyer who wrote the lyrics to Danny Boy. The music to The Roses of Picardy was composed by Haydn Wood, who by the end of his career had written the music for over 200 English ballads, Roses of Picardy being by far his most popular. Wood told in an interview that the melody came to him as he was going home one night on the top of a London bus. I love this story. He jumped off the bus and wrote out the song on an old envelope while standing under a street lamp. The song was a big success. It quickly became popular throughout Britain. It was said that British soldiers were singing it as they stood in queues to enlist. And during the war, the song sold at the rate of 50,000 copies of sheet music per month. Through the course of the war, earning Wood the total of approximately £10,000. The equivalent adjusted for inflation, nearly £500,000 in 2021 value of pounds. Picardy is the region in France where the Somme battles would take place, the location of the longest and fiercest fighting of the war. Following the war, some psychiatrists discovered that many soldiers who were in the battles of the Somme remembered the song, The Roses of Picardy, and they found that treatment using the song helped soldiers who were suffering from shell shock to regain some of their powers of speech. All of this quite an interesting history of a song that reminds us all of spring. The Roses of Picardy, and here it is. Thank you, thank you. Roses of Picardy. Now, to give additional support to Roses of Picardy, our second song is also about roses. Henry Mancini's beautiful instrumental composition, The Days of Wine and Roses, which he gave to Johnny Mercer to write the lyrics. Mercer reached back to a 19th century poem by the gloomy and very negative English poet Ernest Dowson, who had taken the phrase, "the days of wine and roses," from the 1st century BC Roman poet Horace, who had used it in a poem to refer to the days of happiness and prosperity that go with love and youth and the spring of one's life, days that, alas, don't last very long. Dowson made those days seem even more negative, opposing them to their opposite, days filled with weeping and desire and hate, days that seem to Dowson to hang around much too long. Johnny Mercer made these days of wine and roses much more positive. They are short, yes, but as he puts it, they laugh and run away like a child at play. But, and here is the Mercer optimism, they can come back to us later in memories. Memories that preserve the days of wine and roses for us, and preserve the song that he is writing the lyrics for as a love song. A love song that celebrates the springtime of our lifetime. The lonely night discloses just a passing breeze filled with memories of the golden smile that introduced me to the days of wine and roses and you. Here's Mancini's beautiful music with Johnny Mercer's, yes, finally optimistic words, The Days of Wine and Roses. Thank you. April Showers was written in 1921 by Louis Silvers and B.G. De Silva. Written for the musical Bombo, a production that, according to one critic, possessed a very thin storyline, but was a sumptuous showcase for Al Jolson's singing. In 1921, Jolson was at the height of his career. He played the role of a slave that Columbus had brought with him to the New World, and was now a servant for Columbus. He performed 29 songs in the musical, most of them by Silvers and Buddy De Silva, but many by Al Jolson himself, and some by Jolson collaborating with De Silva. The one real hit was April Showers, which became first a Jolson classic and subsequently a popular American standard. I have included it in today's concert especially because of Buddy De Silva's lyrics, celebrating the violets and the daffodils that April's showers bring to welcome the arrival of spring. So here it is, a tune you all will remember, April Showers. Thank you. Thank you. Now we're set for a song that celebrates both spring and Easter. Easter is early this year, just 4 days away. So here is a song that salutes the occasion of Easter in all of its glory, but especially in its secular glory. And it's also a song about a parade that happens once a year and only happens in New York City. A parade that is really, really special. A parade that you would dress up for, really dress up, as if you would expect to have your picture taken and to find that you're in the rotogravure. A parade proceeding along Fifth Avenue in the very heart of Manhattan. A parade that is cherished by all New Yorkers and that New Yorkers happily share with much of the rest of the world. Irving Berlin wrote a song about it. He published it in 1933 and named it Easter Parade. Actually, Berlin wrote the melody for the song years earlier, in 1917. He wrote it as a cheer-up song for a girl whose man had gone off to fight in World War I. He gave it different words then and a very different title. He called it Smile and Show Your Dimple. Smile and show your dimple. It's really very simple. In 1933, Berlin resurrected the tune with minor modifications and gave it the now familiar Easter lyrics for the Broadway musical review as Thousands Cheer, which was loosely based on Irving Berlin's life. In 1942, Bing Crosby sang it in the film Holiday Inn, which featured an Irving Berlin song about each major holiday. And then in 1948, Arthur Freed's MGM production of the film Easter Parade, starring Judy Garland, Ann Miller, and Fred Astaire, and featuring more than a dozen Irving Berlin songs, was constructed entirely around Easter Parade. In the film's dramatic climax, which resolves the love story that was in trouble, Judy Garland and Fred Astaire sing it together as they stroll along Fifth Avenue, wonderfully happy, just engaged to be married, dressed up to the nines, and fully expecting to appear in the New York Times rotogravure. Here it is for Easter, for spring, for the people of New York, and for their parade. Easter Parade. little interfering noise from outside, but we'll get through that. Our next song is a Cole Porter song, written in 1944 for his stage musical Mexican Hayride. The New York Times reviewed the show saying, "Of Mr. Porter's score, the best number bears the title almost startlingly in its forthrightness, I Love You." However, the rather commonplace lyrics of the song, and why they were perhaps substandard for the songwriter, was due to a challenge given Porter by his longtime intimate friend, Monty Woolley. Remember what Monty Woolley? He appeared in lots of radio shows, Jack Benny, Fred Allen, and many others. He was once described as a wasp-tongued, supercilious sophisticate, and he contended that Porter's talent lay in the offbeat and the esoteric, and he challenged Porter that he could never take a cliche title like I Love You and write lyrics that included the banal sentiment, it's spring again and birds on the wing again, and be successful. Porter accepted the challenge, with the result that the song eventually topped the hit parade. And Porter remarked that the superior melody overcame the ordinary lyric. Actually, I think both Woolley and Porter were wrong. I think the lyric was far from banal. It was a very clever combination of the rhythm of It's Spring Again and Birds on the Wing Again with the rhyme, and then not just doubling it, but tripling it, so that the birds sing again their old melodies, which rhyme with this April breeze. Very clever lyrics, I'd say rival of the I've lost his name. And I've lost it again. Who wrote the very clever Don Juan, Yeats, and I'm sorry, I've lost it, but a lyrical specialist, a poetic specialist, with very, very good use of rhyme and rhythm. Anyway, Porter remarked that the superior melody overcame the banal lyric. In 1945, Ira B. Arnstein sued Cole Porter for plagiarizing his work and filed a suit in federal court. He had for 20 years been suing various songwriters and was considered to be a little eccentric. He claimed that Porter had stolen 4 songs of his: I Love You, Don't Fence Me In, Begin the Beguine, and You'd Be So Nice to Come Home To. A jury dismissed the charges, and the judge, moreover, awarded Porter $2,500 in legal costs, a sum that, since Arnstein couldn't pay it, kept him from any chance of prevailing in a federal law court for the rest of his life. I've included Cole Porter's little song for this concert precisely because of its inclusion of the words Monty Woolley finds so banal. Here they are in the second verse of the song. It's spring again and birds on the wing again start to sing again their old melodies. And finally, I love you, the golden dawn agrees, as once more she sees daffodils. Here it is, Cole Porter's beautiful I Love You. Now a popular song composed by Vernon Duke. Vernon Duke had a career of about 50% popular songs and 50% classical music. The popular songs were very popular, the classical music somewhat popular, but not nearly as popular as the popular songs. This one was his most popular song, April in Paris. And of course, Paris and April scream out spring. The lyrics for April in Paris were written by Yip Harburg. He's the one who wrote the lyrics for Over the Rainbow and for all of the songs in The Wizard of Oz. And he wrote this one for the Broadway musical Walk a Little Faster. The original hit was performed by Freddie Martin. Composer Alec Wilder writes, "There are no two ways about it. This is the perfect theater song." Count Basie in 1955 made a recording of it with his huge swing orchestra, and it was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. On this recording, trumpeter Tad Jones played his famous Pop Goes the Weasel solo, which made improvising solos in jazz standards famous. And trombonist Benny Powell performed his much-noted bridge. And Basie directs the band at the end to play it again as he shouts out, "One more time." And then, as a reprise, "One more once." A revised arrangement of the song, played by Count Basie Orchestra in a cameo appearance, is also featured, and some of you may have seen this, in the 1974 film Blazing Saddles. Listen to Yip Harburg's lyrics celebrating spring and April and Paris. April in Paris, chestnuts in blossom, holiday tables under the trees. April in Paris, this is a feeling no one can ever reprise. I never knew the charm of spring. I never met it face to face. I never knew my heart could sing. I never missed a warm embrace until April in Paris. Whom can I run to? What have you done to my heart? Here it is. Vernon Duke's beautiful music, inspiring Yip Harburg's beautiful words. Well, another one of the certain signs of spring. From twitter-pated birds and bees to smitten guys and gals is falling in love. Here is one of the leading songs from that category. I'm in the Mood for Love, a popular song published in 1935. The music written by Jimmy McHugh, a prolific Tin Pan Alley composer, over 500 songs, with the lyrics by Dorothy Fields, very successful librettist and lyricist. Over 400 songs, plus the librettos for A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, Annie Get Your Gun, and Sweet Charity. The song was introduced by Frances Langford in the movie Every Night at 8, released in 1935. It became Langford's signature song, and Bob Hope, who worked with Langford all through the Second World War, entertaining troops, later wrote that in all of their tours, her performance of I'm in the Mood for Love was a showstopper. Here it is, the beautiful Jimmy McHugh music, I'm in the Mood for Love. Lazy River is a popular song co-written by Hoagy Carmichael and Sidney Aroden. And it's the only song that I can remember that Hoagy Carmichael collaborated with another composer, collaborating with both words and music. Sidney Aroden was a New Orleans jazz clarinetist and a minor composer. He played for years in a New Orleans Dixieland group with Wingy Manone. Remember Wingy Manone? Some of you may remember as the composer of Tar Paper Stomp, which was the Dixieland jazz composition that inspired Glenn Miller's famous In the Mood. Lazy River is considered a jazz standard and a pop standard and has been recorded by many, many artists, including Benny Goodman, Harry James, Louis Prima, Glenn Miller, and Hoagy Carmichael himself. Its place in the spring concert is secured by Hoagy's and Sidney's lyrics, referencing a robin's song, awakening a bright spring morning, and referencing blue skies up above while everyone's falling in love. Here are the words. Up a lazy river where the robin's song awakes the bright spring morning where we can move along. Blue skies up above, everyone's in love. Up a lazy river with me. Hoagy's Lazy River. Now we're going to wrap things up with a spring medley. We call it the Age of Aquarius medley. It includes Aquarius, the hit song of the musical Aquarius, and the Sunshine, Let the Sunshine In, which was the second biggest hit in that musical, even though it was a very short song. And finally, Good Morning Starshine, the three big hits from Aquarius. Now, some of you are thinking, if you know about astronomy or even astrology, that Aquarius as an age left us in the middle of February. But Aquarius has so much energy that we can easily borrow some of that energy that was left over in February to welcome spring. Here it is, the Aquarius medley joining in a concert to welcome spring. and welcome to spring. And thank you all for being here. And I look forward to seeing you in 2 more weeks.